Hey there. So you've heard about trading and you're curious. That's awesome. Think of this as our first conversation, the very beginning of a really interesting journey. We're not going to just throw a bunch of jargon at you. We're going to explore this whole world together, step by step.
It's a pretty common feeling, right? You see the numbers scrolling on the screen, you hear all these complicated terms, and it can feel like a secret club that everyone else already knows. But here's the thing, it's not a secret club. My whole goal here is to give you a simple map so you can start to find your own way.
You know, before you explore a new city, you gotta know what a street is and what a building is, right? It's the same here. So before we get into anything fancy, let's just focus on the two most basic building blocks of, well, everything in trading.
Okay, first up is the word asset. Don't let it sound too corporate or intimidating. An asset is just the thing that gets traded. Simple as that. It could be a stock in a company, it could be a commodity like oil, it could even be gold. It's just the item we're actually interested in buying or selling.
So if the asset is the thing, then trading is the action. It's what you do with the asset. It's the simple act of buying it and then later selling it, hoping that its price has gone up in the meantime. That's it. That's the entire engine that drives the whole process.
So let's talk about stocks for a second, because you hear that word all the time. What does it actually mean to own a stock? Well, here's a super simple way to think about it. Imagine a whole company is one giant pizza. When you buy a stock, you're just buying one tiny slice of that pizza. And if the company does really well and that whole pizza becomes more popular and valuable, so does your little slice. See? You're a part owner.
Okay, so we figured out what we're trading. Those are the assets. Now let's zoom out a little. Where does all this buying and selling actually happen? And who are the people or companies that make it all work? Let's meet the key players in the trading arena.
You're going to hear these two words a lot, broker and exchange. Here's all you need to know. Your broker is kind of like your personal guide or your agent. They're the one you call up or, use an app for to say, hey, go buy this for me. The exchange, that's the giant marketplace where your broker goes to actually make that trade happen.
In fact, probably the best way to picture an exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange, for example, is to just imagine a huge, chaotic, bustling farmer's market. But instead of people shouting about the price of apples and carrots, it's all about financial assets. It's the one central place where everyone comes together to buy and sell.
Okay, concepts are down. We've got the basics. Now let's talk about the path forward. And I need to be really, really clear about this part. This is a roadmap for learning. This is not me telling you to go start trading tomorrow. Any successful trader will tell you their journey started with a whole lot of careful preparation. So, your journey begins with step 1, which is exactly what you're doing right now. Education. Learn the language. Then step 2 is all about you. You got to define your own goals. Why are you even doing this? Step 3, you make a plan, a personal rule book that you're going to stick to. And then maybe the most important step of all, step 4, you practice. Think of a demo account like a flight simulator for pilots. You get to fly the plane, learn the controls, and even crash a few times, all without any real-world risk.
All right, we've covered the basics, we've met the players, and we've got a learning path. Before we wrap up, I just want to leave you with some really important advice. The kind of stuff any good mentor would tell you before sending you off on your own.
Okay, listen closely. If you only remember one single thing from our chat today, please let it be this. Rule number 1, always and forever, is to only trade with money that you are 100% prepared to lose. The market goes up and the market goes down. There are no guarantees. This isn't just some casual suggestion. It's the absolute foundation of smart, responsible trading.
So let's boil it all down. What did we learn? Trading is simply the action of buying and selling assets. A stock? That's just your little slice of the company pizza. Your broker is your guide, and the exchange is the big marketplace where it all goes down. But the biggest takeaway of all, your real journey always starts with learning and planning long before you ever risk a single dollar.
You know, we've just sketched out the very first part of the map together, and they say the hardest part of any journey is taking that first step, and you just did. So now the adventure really begins. The only question left is, where does your curiosity want to go next?